My name is Shara Kingston. I am the collections manager at the Army Museum Halifax Citadel. Today I brought in some drill models developed by Captain Brinewood Potts in around circa 1890.
Originated by the Romans, modern drill is a technique for soldiers to learn military fundamentals, promoting discipline, teamwork, pride, and professionalism. At its core, drill is marching and tactical maneuvering. Between the 17th and 20th centuries, cumbersome musket-driven combat dominated battlefields, and only precise coordination resulted in effective firing. By creating a controllable environment where soldiers could load and unload their weapons safely, drill allowed commanders to minimize the risk of friendly fire and become an indispensable survival skill. Today, drill is a measure of military competence, often demonstrated in parades and events where military representation is warranted. To the untrained eye, the marching is an entertaining spectacle, but to a war-trained eye, it reveals the skilled intricacies of readied forces.
So Shara, welcome to Militaria. Could you tell us what you brought in today?
Well, from the Army Museum, I have brought this great instructional military drill set, game, if you will, for some of us looking at it. It looks like a game that was designed by Captain Brinewood Potts.
This is a training aid for drill. I used it to lay out the parades because we've all seen the parades in Buckingham Palace and all those sort of things. And it always looks wonderful, but in order to look wonderful, they had to be planned, and everyone needs to know where they need to stand, what's happening, what things are moving, and that's where this comes in.
So when I came across this, I had no idea what I was looking at from the point of view of myself, not having been or served in the military. It looks like a game. It's in a box that pulls out, and there's a great number of pieces. It's colorful. I obviously understand that it's an instructional tool. I don't know how it works.
So, as you said, it comes all contained in one simple box. The top slides off. Inside are all of these little blocks that have different symbols on them. This was something that Captain Potts came up with and designed. Probably was involved in a parade or two that went, oh, we need something that does a better job. And at the time, these didn't exist. And in your research, you found a couple of others that had been done, but this was supposedly the best one. So Captain Potts designed this in the 1860s. He was a captain in the Honorable Artillery Company, which is the oldest regiment in the British Army. Henry VIII was the one that organized it, and it's been in existence ever since. So Shara, in your research, were you able to find out much about Captain Potts?
First of all, his name is so unusual that I thought for sure I would put in Brinewood Potts and all of this information would come to me, but that was not the case. What I did find out was that he was the adjutant, as you said, with this unit from 1861 to 1866. Then he retired. And then I found a later piece of research which suggested that he went on to paint scenery for a theater that was being built in London. And that's all I found. So to me, it sort of made sense because I thought this is a very creative endeavor and definitely took some skill and some planning and thought, and even the box itself is well planned out and thought through, that he would go into set design and scenery as a retirement project. But there isn't a lot to find out about this young man.
So Shara, thank you so much for bringing this in and having the wisdom to pick such a beautiful artifact to bring from the Army Museum. What are the plans for it? Is it back into storage?
Well, when we pulled it out, and we had pulled it out prior to this, but when we pulled it out to bring to share, we started all marveling at it. We have some plans for it to be on display in the future with a new rollover for the winter. I will definitely have to do some triage to the key. The way it goes in here is it's folded in to a little bundle to slide in, and so the distinction line marks have all started to rip. I mean, we're 1861, so it's going to happen. So I will most likely encapsulate this, which means we won't be able to fit it back in the box. We'll have to start separating them out. But the plan is to put them out on display in a place where no one can touch them, because I know if these were out on display, I would want to move the pieces.
So once again, thank you for bringing this in.
Thanks so much. So this artifact is interesting because it really shows the behind the scenes of military drill, and whether that be, as Gary suggested, drill for show for the sovereign or in that kind of capacity, or whether someone might be able to use that as a tactical drill. I think it's very cool. It's colorful, it's interesting, and it's well put together, but just showing that behind the scenes is very neat.